Guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Kristen and welcome if this is your first time stopping by. So I know that my background has become somewhat bare, so this will get adjusted and it'll be a lot prettier once I figure out kind of what I want to do with that space. But today's video is a little bit late to the game, but I wanted to still put mine out there, and it is my 2019 beauty favorites. So this, I have no like specific order I'm going in, so I'm just gonna kind of like go all over the place, but there's a lot of things that I want to mention that I discovered in 2019 or that I found that I used a lot in 2019 that I think you guys should know about if you haven't tried them out, or you know, it's something that maybe needs to go on your radar. But I really wanted to share my favorites because I do have quite a few this year. Now, before we get started, please hit that subscribe button down below and join my family here on YouTube. I'd love for all of you guys to become part of this big family and enjoy this journey with me. Now, this video will hopefully be somewhat short. I don't want it to get super long, but I will talk briefly about each product as we go along. Without further ado, let's get right into this video. So let's start with skincare. I always use the same two face washes, as you guys know, so I'm going to show you a couple of things. I don't know if I've ever mentioned them here on my channel or not, but I want to share them with you. And the first one is the Origins Ginseng Boosting Gel Moisturizer. This is my holy grail moisturizer. Every time I run out of it, and then I use up all of my different moisturizers that I have, I always go back to this one because it's just that good. They did recently reformulate it, and it's supposed to be even more hydrating. The consistency is the same. Everything seems the same to me. It's just when I know that my skin needs some love, I always use this. It is my go-to moisturizer on a daily basis. The other item I wanted to mention is the Glam Glow Bright Eyes Eye Cream. Now, I got this a little bit more like halfway or 3/4 of the way through the year, but I've noticed such a huge difference when I put this on versus the days that I forget to put it on, and it really just like makes my under eyes look a lot more brightened and awake, and especially when I wake up and I'm super tired in the mornings. If I don't put this on, I notice that like my eyes just look tired, and like right around here is just red, and I always need to make sure I use this eye cream, because if I don't, then it's just not pretty. So I really love that, and it, you know, skincare is so important, and it makes everything else in terms of your beauty routine so much easier. Now, moving on to primer, there's one primer that I wanted to mention this year, and I only had a sample size of it, but I'm planning on getting a full size after my spending freeze, and it is the Coconut Skin Smooth Priming Moisturizer from First Aid Beauty. So First Aid Beauty has become a really good brand for me this year. I've liked a lot of their products, I've tried a lot of their products, and every single one has been super enjoyable for me. I'm really liking the brand. This primer, or this priming moisturizer, I would usually turn away from because I have more oily skin. So when I put it on my face, I don't want my face to get even more oily throughout the day. But the biggest thing for people who have oily skin, a lot of the times more oil is produced when it's not getting enough hydration. So this actually has saved my skin a lot, and I've noticed that my makeup just wears a lot smoother and nicer throughout the day with it. And I highly recommend it if you have not tried it already. So for foundation, I have two mentions, and they're actually both from the drugstore. The first one being the Rimmel Long Lasting Finish 25-Hour Breathable Long Wear Foundation. This is my summer shade. I actually have not repurchased this for winter yet because I have other ones I'm trying to use up. But what I love about this is the applicator is super easy, so I just like would stripe on my face and then blend it in with a beauty blender or a sponge, and it really made my morning routine super fast, and it also just lasts so nicely on the skin, and I feel like no one talks about this foundation. So if you guys have not heard of this, this is a really good foundation. It used to be in a different packaging, and then they switched over to this. It has been a love of mine for a long time, and I will constantly repurchase it when I know that I need something that's long wearing and that will last throughout the day without any problems. The other foundation I wanted to mention is the L'Oreal Infallible 24-Hour Fresh Wear. This is the matte version. I really love this foundation. At first I wasn't too sure about it. I was a little bit like, well, I have other foundations I like more, but going into the winter months, I've been using this a lot, and it really does last really beautifully on my skin, and I have no concerns or issues with it. I think that the hype around this is very good because, or very real, because it is really that good, and I think that if you haven't tried this yet, this is a really good drugstore foundation to try. Moving on to concealer, I have two concealers. One is a drugstore, and it is the Essence Camouflage Matte Concealer. This is waterproof, super full coverage, really good, easy to blend. Absolutely love this. I am actually out of this. I don't know why I still have it, but this is such a good foundation. I love the applicator of it. Like, everything about this is just absolutely beautiful. And I think that if you're looking for a really inexpensive, amazing drugstore concealer, this one is the one to go for. And you can get it at Ulta or online, and I think now even CVS carries Essence, so highly recommend. The other concealer I wanted to mention is the Benefit Bowing Cakeless Concealer. I believe this one came out this year. First of all, the packaging is absolutely adorable. I love that it looks like a pencil. The coverage on this is a little bit more of like a medium coverage, so it's really good for those days where you don't want like a lot of heavy makeup and you just kind of want to look more awake, more alive, and kind of a little bit more put together. And I loved using this concealer. This one I'm also out of, I believe. Or no, I'm not out of it, just it's gotten too dark for my skin. This is in the shade number 4. Sorry, I forgot that there's no name. So this is in the shade number 4, and I really have enjoyed this concealer, and I think that once I'm past the spending freeze that I'm on, I will definitely repurchase this concealer because it is a new favorite of mine that I really like to wear, and I feel like I almost might like wearing it more than the Tarte, because sometimes the Tarte Shape Tape, as much as I love that concealer, it can really get heavy and it can become a lot, but this is such a good concealer. So I don't have any new powders or anything, but for bronzer, I believe I actually bought this last year, maybe it was early this year, but the Fenty Beauty bronzers are so nice. This is the Sunstalker bronzer in the shade Private Island. I have hit pan on this. Right now, I'm actually not using this bronzer because it's a little too dark for me, but I am telling you, this is one of the best formulas of bronzers I've ever used. The packaging is nice. It is just such a good, smooth looking, like nice warmth. Like, it just gives you such an amazing glow is the best way I can describe it. And I think that I might want to get another one of these in a shade that's a little bit lighter for like my paler skin days, like today and like winter time, because it really is that good. And I haven't found another bronzer that I've actually loved this much, except for the butter bronzer, which I believe I mentioned in last year's favorites. So this one is a really good good alternative or addition, because it's not a super easy or super cheap option, but I think that the bronzer is just so good that it's actually worth the splurge. In terms of highlighter, I have 3. The first one is for when I want just a really subtle glow and I don't want it to look like I'm wearing highlight, but I just want it to be kind of like that glowing from within look, and that is the Essence Pure Nude Highlighter. I'm sure I've mentioned this before on my channel. It is just one of the best highlighters. It's super inexpensive and it's just super buttery. It's like one of those highlighters that if you're gonna get married, you just wanna put a little bit of a glow on the cheeks, this is the one to go for. I think I'm debating for my highlight for my wedding to be either this one or one of the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Powders. I haven't decided yet, but I really love this, and that is the kind of glow that I think most brides would look for. So if you're getting married, or if you're just wanting a highlight that's not like beaming in your face but gives you that really nice glow from within, this one is a really good option, and it's super inexpensive. Now if you want to go for the pricier side, the Ofra highlighter in Rodeo Drive, oh my goodness, this is my current addiction. I have the full size, I also have the mini size, which is the one that I've been using mostly, but this is just so beautiful. It just gives you that really nice glow. It is a beaming highlight. You can really build it up, but what it really looks like is just your skin is just beaming. Like, it doesn't look like you have a strip of highlight on it. It just looks like it's one with your skin, which is the biggest thing for me when I'm looking for highlights. So this has been an amazing highlight for me this year, and if you haven't tried this already, this is it's just one you have to try. It is really that good. The last highlighters I want to mention are actually in a palette, and I got this last Christmas, so this is no longer available, I'm sorry, but I wanted to mention it anyway because I have been using it so much, and it is the Magic Hour Face Illuminator Palette. And if I can open it, I mean, you can see that this has been pretty well loved. These just all 3 of these I've been using so much. I just absolutely love the formula. They're super buttery, they're smooth, they're just some of the best highlighters that are out there, and I've never heard people talk about them, and it's a bummer for me because I think that these are worth a lot. I don't know if the Laura Mercier, like if Laura Mercier has a formula that's similar to this pan, like as a single or anything, but I feel like if they don't, they definitely should, because I love this formula. I think that they're beautiful, not just in the pan, the packaging is great, but the formula is just so, so stunning. Moving on to blush, I have two favorites that I wanted to mention. The first one being the Buxom Wanderlust Prime Infused Blush, and this is such a good blush. The lasting power on these are so good. They are really, really nice. I do want to get more of this formula. I like this size. It's not a super like huge blush. They are a little bit pricey, but this one is so pretty. It's just like a beautiful kind of like mauve with a little silver shimmer to it. Absolutely adore it, and it's really pigmented too, and I just think it's an amazing blush. So this one, I believe Kathleen Lights has talked about nonstop. I think you guys have probably heard a lot, if you do follow her, heard a lot about these from her, but I think that they're really worth how much they are. I mean, they're not super, super crazy expensive, but I mean, they're not drugstore prices, but I think it's worth it. The other one I wanted to mention is the Tarte Blushing Bride blush. I finally got this one from Amazonian, the Amazonian Clay formula, and I could not be happier. I've worn this almost every day since I got it, and there's still so much product left. This is definitely one I will continue to repurchase. It is really, really beautiful, and I feel like it would fit so many different skin tones. It's just stunning, and I think it's probably my favorite Tarte color. I know that's a lot to say, but I think that's the truth. Moving on to eyes, I have three palettes I want to mention. The first one is the Violet Voss Creme Brulee palette, because I cannot tell you enough how much I've used this palette. This palette has been very well loved. It doesn't even look like it's been that well loved, but it has been so well loved, and I have been using it so much on my everyday like work routine. I just put some of these colors on my lid and I'm good to go. It is such a good palette. Violet Voss is so underrated. Like, no one really talks about them, but their formula is just so incredible, and I could not be any happier. Violet Voss is one of my favorite brands. They're a little bit more of an indie brand. They are carried at Sephora, but if you have not tried this palette, I believe they still make this, and I think you should try it out. Going on to a more expensive price range, I didn't want to mention this, but I have to, because I got this a little bit later in the year, but it has been a love of mine, and I just, yeah. So it's the Natasha Denona Sunrise palette. I have the Sunset palette, but for some reason, the colors in this are just, they draw me in. I love the berry tone. I love the peachy tones. This is just way totally up my alley. There's not a single color in here that I would not use, and I think that they did an amazing job with this palette. Natasha Denona's formula is incredible. Everyone talks about how incredible the formula is, and I only have two of her palettes, but this one is by far my favorite, and I just love the packaging. It's always so sturdy. The front is super sleek. The back has that kind of rubberized texture, so you really can't go wrong with these kinds of purchases, but I do recommend like waiting until you get like the discount from Sephora before you jump full in. The other last one that I would like to mention, you guys probably knew this was coming, the Tati Beauty Volume 1 palette. Oh my god. The Textured Neutrals palette is by far the shining star of this year for me. Every single color in here is beautiful. Every formula is beautiful. The glitters are stunning. The shimmers. Every single one in one of these items in here, like, I could not get enough of. I have raved a lot about this palette. I'm sure a lot of you guys have heard so much about this palette that you're kind of getting sick of it, but I did want to mention it because this was by far my favorite release of 2019, and I could not be happier. And I'm so proud of Tati for really sticking with something it's not necessarily innovative, but something that she knows is a staple, and I love the way that she set it up. It's just such a unique palette. I believe I did an entire review on it, or a video with it. I will link that in the end card, or maybe up in that little like information box above, or I will also link it below. But I am telling you, this is such a good palette, and she just did a re-release of the palette and it sold out incredibly fast, and that just tells you how good this palette is. The next item I want to mention is a mascara, and it is the Milani Highly Rated Mascara. Now this mascara no one talks about. I have discovered it through a a purchase of like multiple mascaras. There was like a set of different ones from Target, and this is such a good mascara. It really lengthens and volumizes without getting clumpy, and I think that it is just a really good mascara that is from the drugstore. I think that if you have not tried this, you should. It is really good. I like it for, like right now I have such a light layer of the mascara on, but I like when I really build it up and it gets really big and fluttery lashes. I'm absolutely in love with the way that makes my lashes look, and I could not be any more excited. I just sounded like Chandler Bing from Friends, if you guys get that reference. But I could honestly not recommend this more. I really think that this was a highlight of my year as well. The last items I want to mention are lip products, and one is going to be a set of 3, and it is the Fenty Beauty Gloss Bombs. I love these gloss bombs. I didn't get the small set because I just didn't see the need for all those colors, but these ones I have Diamond Milk, Fenty Glow, and Fussy. I believe these are the 3 big ones she has, and I just love them. The formula is good. I'm wearing one right now. I think I'm wearing, which one did I put on? I think I'm wearing Fenty Glow, the more peachy toned one. These are just such a good formula. I love the shape. They're just something that like you're drawn to when you look at them. You're like, oh wow, those look so beautiful. Like, I just love the formula. They're not sticky, they're smooth, but they also last a long time throughout the day, which is just, it's a perfect formula. So I highly recommend these. Yes, they are pricey, but I think that they are really good. On the other end of the spectrum, something that's inexpensive, I really loved the ColourPop Disney Designer Collection release for the Masquerade, the lip products in there. This is Flynn. My other favorite is Beast, but I love all of them. I've worn all of them. And the formula of these are really good. I can't really tell you like what the formula is because it's not on here, but I think it may be their satin finish lip. Don't quote me on that because I could be way off. But it's kind of got like more of like a moussey texture. They're really smooth and comfortable on the lips. They don't feel drying. They don't get drying. They are not like transfer resistant, so they can like move throughout the day, but I think that they're so beautiful, and they did such a good job with this release. Highly recommend. I believe it is still out. I'm sorry if it's not, but any ColourPop of that formula, any ColourPop item, like lip product from that formula, I think would be really good. The last like lip product that's not like a lip conditioning treatment would be the Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk lipstick. I know it's so expensive, but it is the perfect nude. Like, everybody talks about this. Everybody has a different lip tone. Like, not everybody can pull off the same lip color, but Pillow Talk is just such a universal shade. It's kind of like, what it reminds me of is how It Cosmetics has the universal brow pencil. I feel like this is the universal lip color. So I think that this would be an amazing addition to your lip collection if you do not, like, if you need something that's a good everyday neutral that you can wear every day, that you can wear when you feel special, when you just want to feel like, you know, put together. Like, this is just such a good lip product. Highly recommend. I really want the lip liner because she came out like an entire Pillow Talk collection, but these, I can't say anymore. Just, it's really good. I know it's expensive, but it's just so good. It's so good, guys. It's so good. The last 2 items I want to mention are from Laneige. First being the Lip Glowy Balm. I wear these all the time. I bring them in my purse. I have them in my work bag. I have them in a ton of different flavors and a ton of different scents. I just absolutely love how it makes my lips feel. The Lip Glowy Balm does not last like super long. It's kind of like a gloss lip conditioner like combination, but I really do think it's really good. But my favorite thing from Laneige is the lip sleeping mask. Oh my god! Every night before I go to bed, I put this on my lips. Like not like just a little. Like I like slather it on my lips, and my lips are just so conditioned in the morning. They feel so good. I can't get enough of it, and I like that they came out with this scent in the winter, which is the sweet candy scent. I don't know if it's still available, but if it is, I recommend it very much. But the lip sleeping mask in general is just so conditioning, and it replaced a lot of lip conditioners that I was using, and I can't really feel like I can't go back to something else. This is it for me, and I think that I will probably be a Laneige lip mask person for the rest of my life, to be honest. So that is my video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you have any questions or comments, as always, just put them in the comments down below. I love talking to you guys. Tell me one of your 2019 favorites. If it doesn't have to be beauty, it could be anything, but I want you guys to give me your recommendations for things that I should try or watch or do or see or buy, like anything. Just like let me know in the comments down below. I love hearing from you guys. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I love you all so much, and enjoy the rest of your day. Bye guys.